You said, reform ICE or ICE doesn't get any money. And they said, no, we're not reforming ICE. And you said, okay, well, let's not get any money.
Not getting any money.
So this gets at, I think, what the goal is, or at least a question about what the goal is. So in a lot of ways, this shutdown has been symbolic because shutting down DHS meant only ICE was funded in order to deal with what ICE was doing wrong. But it also created a lot of pressure on the administration at a moment where Democrats have leverage and Trump is at a pretty low ebb. If the end result is we fund TSA, which I hope we do, and these other parts of the administration, and ICE still has money to run, what will we have extracted for having gone through the shutdown?
Well, ICE has less money to run, right? So they were planning on spending, let's say, $25 billion out of the big, beautiful bill and $10 billion out of the appropriations bill. They don't have that $10 billion any longer. So that dramatically cuts down on the number of people that they can deploy all around the country to commit these illegal acts. We couldn't get there with Republicans, but the end result looks like just a significant decreased capacity to commit this brazen illegality. And that's not good enough, but it's certainly better than giving them the big, beautiful bill money and the appropriations dollars without any reforms.
Actually, as bad as this is, the whole purpose of drawing this line is to make sure that if we fund the Department of Homeland Security, we're getting concessions on ICE. We should be holding that line a little bit longer.
Well, I think it's also just really important in these moments to create a clear difference between us and them, a moral difference. And I'm proud of my caucus because, we said we were not going to fund this version of ICE. We were not going to fund a version of ICE that is acting this lawlessly and immorally. And unless you agree to our reforms, we're not giving our votes. And we did not, right? Here we have maintained a really important moral difference on an issue that matters to people, the way that ICE is abusing American citizens and immigrants. And I think that at a moment where we're struggling to keep alive the democracy, those differences are really important.
You said, reform ICE or ICE doesn't get any money. And they said, no, we're not reforming ICE. And you said, okay, well, let's not get any money.
Not getting any money.